Yo. Thanks everybody for coming out. Give yourself a round of applause. Y'all came out to see this. Um, tonight we are joined by somebody a lot of y'all might not know. Y'all might not know this guy. But in Ohio, his name carried weight. Before Instagram highlights, before Google, before Huddle Reels, Instant Access, Ray Williams was that guy. Like seriously, he was that guy. In 2003, he was crowned AP Mr. Football, the top player in the entire state. If y'all know what Mr. Football is, that is the best player in the entire state. It's a lot of football going on in Ohio. He did it in the era where your name is how people recognize you, from your name, not social media, not anything. People would say, hey, that's Ray Williams. Ray didn't go viral, he went legendary. His story has highs, lows, real lessons, and every student athlete in this room can learn from him. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Ray Williams.
Yo, Ray, what's going on, y'all?
What's up? What's up?
We happy to have you here.
I'm happy to be here, y'all. Appreciate y'all for coming too.
That was a good intro by Ray too, but it's just I want y'all to really understand what like Mr. Ohio, what Mr. Football is in the state of Ohio. Ohio is a football state, so to win that war in this state that's a lot, and for especially someone from here, our city. I just asked him before. I don't think nobody in Northeast Ohio has won Mr. Football since then, so this is a huge deal. So, we got some real legacy in the building today for sure. So Ray, Mr. Football. So take us back to that 2003 season. We know you won Mr. Football, so it was going crazy. We just want to hear about it. Take us back there.
Well, everybody know in here when you play sports and you winning, it's fun. And like he said, we ain't have IG and all that back then. So when you went somewhere, people would notice you from being in the paper or even they came to the game. So back then was like, you was the man in the city. I ran with a couple guys, Ted Ginn Jr., a couple of other Glenville guys, they was wearing a crown too, so everywhere we went, everybody knew who we was. So to be having that at 17, 18 years old, you already feel like you about to make it, or you got a shot to make it. And I guess that was what I was going through too. You be on top of the world, and you think you untouchable, and you don't think about the decisions you make when you doing them, and it can land you in a tough situation like I did in that 2003 when I was on top of thinking that I wouldn't be able to get caught out here in these streets. But they always say the streets are always gonna win. You ain't never gonna beat them. And I was young, so I ain't understand that. I'm thinking I'm beating them with the stuff I'm getting away with, the little stuff. And then when you get in them big streets and do something big like that, now you gotta go to the big house. That's the courtrooms, and they don't play with you down there. So yeah, in 2003, when that was going on, it was fun. I can remember a lot of good times we had back in those days.
You actually made me want to go back further because you mentioned, like Ted and some of the other guys in the city. So let's take it back even further. What was it like Muni League and, in the city? What was that like back then?
Yeah, that's another thing. Like y'all playing youth football right now, but y'all all can see each other if y'all got a phone and you got Instagram. So you can see that guy that you about to play. We couldn't see who we was about to play. All we had to know was, oh, they got such and such and such and such over there, he good. Oh, they got such and such and such and such over there, he good. So when we was growing up, it's completely different than how y'all grew up. A lot of y'all probably don't even know what DVDs is and cassette players and, oh, okay.
Okay.
But see, now y'all streaming everything. It's just like
He be around his
the
grandparents.
times got a little better for high school or youth football or sports, period. The times right now is way better than when it was when we was coming up.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Who you play for, Muni?
Power 7 Chargers.
Anybody we know you was playing with?
Tay Whitner, Dante Whitner, he played on that team down there with me. Fred Lennox, Glenville guy. Both of those guys, Glenville guys, they played down there with me. That's probably the only two people y'all probably
Y'all
know.
was getting busy.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
Well, honestly, I ain't get busy to my last year, my bantamweight year. Every year before that, I lost. But I was still good, but we lost. But my last year playing, we played the Sims Raiders before we went to the championship, and then we played Power 6, and we beat both of them.
Oh, so at what point did you realize, like, all right, I might be on this, I might be a little better than everybody?
I was always humble, bro. Like, I knew I was good, but I ain't never, like, was the one that be always bragging about how good I am.
Sure.
So I knew I had something different when I got to high school and how I was running around out there. I knew it was something different. Then when I got out of trouble and went to college and I was able to do it on the college level, I knew it was something different.
Okay. So out of Muni, so then you go to high school. So you go straight to Benny, or how did that go?
Yeah.
Any other school had a chance, or you was always straight to Benny?
See, back then, Ginn ain't even come to the to the Muni League games like that. He just didn't do it. But, you know, you had Ignatius and you had Eds and you had Benny coming to those games. And, you know, from where we from, you thinking that's the way out. So that's why I decided to go to Benedictine at the time.
Okay, cool. That's a good school though. So going into high school, so you go straight. You know, did you do the whole freshman to JV to varsity, or you just your talents led you straight to varsity? Or?
Well, when you go to the Catholic schools and you a freshman, they automatically make you play freshman ball because it was a coach, their name, Augie Basu, that they want you to learn from. But at the end of that year, he recommended me to go up to varsity to play with them. But the varsity coach just let me travel. He didn't let me play. So my sophomore year is when I first started playing varsity.
Okay, what was that like? Was the speed different, or was you ready for it?
I was ready for it because I had never sat on a bench. So
That is
when sophomore year started and I wasn't starting, that was just like, what? All my life I started. So I just used that as momentum to get out there and start. So by the middle of the year, I was starting.
All right. So what was that like? So you come in. I know things had to be moving fast. And what was your first big game that you realized, like, okay, I'm here now. Like I'm ready, and I'm doing it at this level.
We was playing St. Vincent St. Mary, LeBron and them down there at their house. 10th grade. Middle linebacker Dijon broke his arm in that game. So I had to step in and play linebacker. And then Mark starting running back hurt his ankle in that game. And we was losing with 2 minutes left, and they gave me the screen. I took an 80. We ended up winning. And after that, he was on.
Oh, that's what's up. So going from, your sophomore year to your junior year to your senior year, like leading up. So take us through the playoffs, because I know you fought some tough battles. You played some good teams, and tell us about that.
Yeah, we was always like the underdog when we was going against these teams, so we had to go in there and play against the refs. They crowd, of course, because they made us travel. But it was all fun. You just learn from that. Now that I'm older and I look back at it, it was all like you learn from those situations. So when I go to the games now, I'm an adult, and we be in the stands and you yelling at the ref, that don't help. That just hinder the team that you rooting for at the end of the day, because they're going to do nothing but throw more flags. So, yeah, going through that just taught you how to be poised and still overcome tough situations. Because, like, all of my games, it was tough, and everybody was dependent on me to do something. So, at the end of the day, I had to just buckle down and make it happen. So, I would say throughout those years, it wasn't easy, but it wasn't as hard as you would think it would be, because I loved doing it, so it wasn't that hard. It was just, I wanted to be successful. I wanted to be great. I wanted to put the team on my back, so it wasn't that hard.
And then coming from, the inner city, then going to the Catholic schools and to the private schools, was it a big culture shock as far as, like, your classmates and the people that you're around now?
Yeah, it just taught you how to deal with different cultures coming up in life. So, yeah, we had blacks, Hispanics, whites, all that in one building. that's my first time actually ever being around all them different people. So it just taught you how to be yourself and don't try to be nobody else, because they gonna gradually love you more if you be yourself than try to be like them. Or, you know, I always say when somebody talking on the phone, you know, a girl get on the phone and they change their voice.
Yeah, for sure.
And I be like, what's that voice?
Yeah,
like, why you can't be your regular self? Like, it ain't gonna change nothing. Well, they think they is, but when they see you, it's still to be the same thing. So yeah, it just taught you how to be yourself, being in that predominantly white school, black guy, doing what I was doing, and they thought that, you know, some people didn't like it, some people did. So you just taught you how to carry yourself, and that's it. That's why I don't regret the fact that I actually went there.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And Cleveland, what side of town you from? Where'd you grow up?
Well, I grew up on Huff, 66 and Huff. Then I moved to the St. Clair area.
Okay. So growing up in Ohio, how did your community influence you and shape your path or shape your grind going forward?
Just, my mother was a single mother. Well, at the time when I was younger playing youth football, it was two of us, me and my sister. So just to see the struggle and everybody around me struggling, the friends, you wanted to do something to get yourself out of it. So I think my community and everything that was going on around me shaped me into being Mr. Football, because I wanted to do something different than what everybody else was doing.
For sure. And I know you mentioned your mother. Was there anybody else that in your life that probably shaped
Yeah,
you?
you know, I had a couple guys that stuck out for me when I was coming up. One being Joe Record, that actually run Youth Mooney football right now. He run it. I call him my dad because he took me under his wing when I was young. So yeah, I had a couple people that was in my corner.
That's what's up. So, and like I said, so let's get back to the season. So you're going through that season. At any point, you're putting up big numbers and you're winning games. At any point, that was like, I could win Mr. Football. Something that came to your head, because we don't see that. So I don't know, was that a goal of yours, or how did that go?
My junior year, when they started talking about it, I was like, what is that? And they was like, when LeBron won Mr. Basketball, it's the best in there. I'm like, oh, okay. So I wanted to win it, but I really ain't care about winning it, because I just wanted to win for my school or be the champion at my school. So if I got it, I got it. But after my junior year, when I became runner-up, and my senior year, it kind of put a fuel under me to get it my senior year. So I could have got it 2 years in a row, and I think I deserved it my junior year more than I deserved it my senior year. But
You had to make up for that.
yeah, that's why I think they made up for it, and my senior year actually gave it to me. I would have got it twice.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. We're gonna dig back into that a little bit more.
So the pressure, like, I know it was like a lot of pressure coming from the inner city, then going over to Benny. What was it like handling the spotlight so young?
I think I handled it well, because before I got in that trouble that I got into, you ain't hear me being in no type of trouble or doing nothing stupid or nothing. That was just one night of bad decision. So I think I handled the spotlight well when it came to that, because I just didn't want to do nothing bad on my name or my family. So when I did get into that situation, it was more detrimental to everybody, or even me more, because I think I let everybody down when I did that.
So I got a question. This question is like, I'm really asking this for the kids in the audience. Like, did the kids or the people you grew up with, did they change once your success started happening in your sophomore year? Did the people around you start to change?
No, see, back then when we was coming up, that's why it's different. Back then we was coming up, everybody wanted you to be good. But then you got friends that it's two guys on the team that's good, and he hating on him, or he don't want to see him do well, when both of y'all can do well. There's enough football out there for both of y'all to do well. So back then, we ain't had that going on. It was more like, you see the OGs outside, they, what you doing out here, man? Get up the street or get in the house or something like that. Like, you don't need to be out here. Now you see them out there, they embracing it, so it's completely different.
Just looking back, like, what were some of those moments that you taken with you into your life now, like those high school years? What are some of the moments that you pull from high school and you use it in your everyday life?
Like I said, being myself, and I learned that in high school, that being yourself, people appreciate you more, gravitate to you more, understand you more than when you try to be somebody else. So that's what I took from being in high school at Benedictine, that I use in my everyday life. That's simple, that anybody can do. Just be yourself, and you should be happy with the outcome.
So how would you define pressure from then to now? Like, 'cause there's a lot of pressure for kids to perform with NILs and all the spotlight and social media. What would you tell a kid about pressure, knowing what you went through, talking to them now? What would you tell them?
I would tell them pressure is only what you make it, honestly, because you don't have to worry about what somebody else saying to you, or if you don't make that bucket, or you don't catch that ball, or you drop that ball, it's always another one that's gonna come to you. So it's about what you're gonna do with the next one. And then once you do well with the next one, they forget about the one you didn't do well with, right? So pressure is all about what you make it. In my mind, I think that you can overcome pressure with just keep playing and keep doing stuff. Don't worry about the pressure or people around you or what's going on. You know what your mindset is. You know what you want to do, and just do it. Words can't hurt you, never.
And so, you know, we know you went through obviously a tough chapter. You know, I watched the movie on Amazon Prime. It's a great movie, a great documentary.
Great
on Amazon
documentary.
Prime, for sure. So watching that, you know you went through a tough chapter in your life. What are some things or some people that help you face it and move forward or just get through it?
My family first, and then I started going to church. I wasn't going to church, but then when I got in that situation, I started going to church, and it just, I don't know. That's the first time I actually started feeling like God was real, because it was moving me and my feelings and how I was, I was down, sad, didn't know what to do. I'm 18, and they telling me I'm finna go to jail for life. I ain't even lived my life yet. I ain't did nothing. And I'm supposed to be this guy, so all that, taking that in at once, and only 18 years old, is tough.
Absolutely.
But then when I started going to church and started praying and started talking to different people about how I was feeling, I started feeling a lot better about my situation. And I was able to come out of it and be stronger than I ever am.
Yeah, that faith is crazy. And then especially, dealing with something like that at 18. Because I know, like as a kid, like y'all, like when I'm, you 17, I know my favorite saying when I was like 17, like, I'm about to be grown, You think that's grown, and you think that's like experience. Like 18 is such a child. So to be facing something like that at 18 just had to be crazy. So we happy you made it out of that for sure.
Yeah, not only facing that, but just lost a friend.
Absolutely.
So lost a friend and facing that, and get my scholarship took.
That's a lot, man.
It's a whole lot.
That's a lot for a 40-year-old, let alone an 18-year-old, so I couldn't even imagine. So, like, that was, you had your football season, and now you're in a whole nother season of your life dealing with that. So what did that season of your life teach you about?
Just keep fighting for what you want to do, man. Stay strong at it. Just keep believing in yourself. Don't let the naysayers get to you, and just keep pushing. That's my biggest thing that I want to get out here to the youth, is just keep pushing, man. Because they see so much stuff throughout the days that they want to go right and go left. Just keep going straight. It's going to be a lot of distractions. Just got to put them blinders on and go straight.
That's definitely some great advice. And so, you know, from you coming from a person where, you know, everyone know who you are, everyone's screaming your name, to you're on TV for all the right things, and now you faced with a crisis, and now, you know, people are looking at you different, people are speaking about you different, the same people who cheering for you, you know, it's not the same no more, you know, the love switch up. So dealing with that, like how hard was it to like build your identity back after football to just become like the Ray that we're sitting with right now?
It really wasn't that hard because the people that really knew me knew that night was just a messed up night. It was the outside people that didn't know me that was, you know, in your face one minute, and then when that happened, you don't hear from them. You might be walking somewhere they don't even want to come talk to you, but it just made me a stronger man at the end of the day. And I definitely regret the situation of me getting into that, but me coming out of that made me into who I am today. So I don't regret that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know, from the outside looking in, and you know what you dealt with, you know, from, you know, understanding what happened and realizing what happened, and then seeing you back at Benny, and seeing you know, how the people react to you, how you know, the older people react to you, the staff and everything else. So I knew you had like very high character, because in situations like that, people will try to throw you away. And it's easy to throw people away. So the fact that they didn't throw you away after like going through all that, it lets me know and should let everybody know like who you are as a person, for sure. So going through that, if you could have a conversation with 18-year-old Ray, what would that conversation be like? Like, what would you tell him?
Shit. Get out that car. Get out that car and go in the house. That's what I tell him. But yeah, I really couldn't tell 18-year-old Ray nothing different, because, like I said, it was just that wasn't him that night. Like I don't even know what got into me. That was the first time I ever did something like that. So
it wasn't like no spree or nothing that y'all was into at all.
The first time I ever did it. So the first time I ever did it, and the result was that.
Yeah, that's a lot to deal with at 18, and you know, like the lesson that you learn from that is so important from that, because you learn from that because people can go through the same exact thing and just learn different things from it. So we're happy the lesson you learned, you know, kept you going forward and grinding, and you know, for me to continue to keep hearing good things about you. So that's for sure.
Appreciate it.
We talk about, we in the community right now, we in the Glenville community. What role has faith, family, and community played in your comeback story?
That's the biggest thing in my comeback story. When I started coaching the kids, and you just see everything that they go through, you don't know in depth what a kid go through at home, but you can kind of figure it out when he come to practice and how he be acting and things he be saying. Once you see that, you know you gotta be a little more advocate to that kid, because he might not be getting the love or whatever he looking for at home. So hopefully I try to fill that void as an extended family member. And that's what it was when we was coming up in the community. It took a village.
Right, definitely took a village.
It was a village, and now you can't even barely say nothing to a kid without a parent coming to you and being like, "What'd you say to that's my son." Back then it wasn't like that. So
Parents.
So the thing is the more we come together and get some things done, I think the better we'll be. So that's all I preach is.
When you see young student athletes chasing the same dream, what kind of goals or what kind of one-liners would you give them? Like, because their attention span is so short. What's something you can tell them that's quick? Because they're chasing the dream, whether it be football, whether it be basketball, soccer, whatever sport. What's a one-liner that they can take with them? Like something
My main
quick.
thing I be telling them now is how you want to leave your legacy. How do you want to leave your legacy? Now you talking to me about what I did, and you see how mine went and how it's going. How do you want to leave yours? And tell them to think about it.
Yeah, that's real. What's your purpose today, and what drives you now? I know you said your family, the kids that you coach, but what else? What else can you give us that's driving you to do the interview, doing documentaries, helping out in the community? Give us something else that drives you for today.
It's just the fact that what's going on in the world with the youth, and I feel like if I could grab 2 to 3 kids with my conversation or my movie or what I said, and it changed his outcome or his day from him doing a bad decision, then I won. So that's the whole point of me putting that movie out after 20 years. Because now I'm dealing with more kids in the youth, and I'm seeing more kids out here. So it's like, yeah, I could talk to them till I'm blue in my face. But if they more visual, they like to see it. They want to see it to understand it. So if I could put something out that they can go watch, maybe it'll stick a little longer.
And I'm just going to leave with this question. Run us through a quick picture of that night, so the people that's watching on the live stream, the people that's in the audience can get a real picture of that night that changed your life.
It was a night of a group of guys going out, and we decided to rob somebody. 3 guys approached the car. 1 guy ended up getting killed, and that's basically what changed my life. And you know how long that took? Can anybody answer that question in the stands? How long did that take? What I just said, how long you think that took? Minutes? Seconds?
20 minutes.
No, usually when you're doing something like that, it go faster, so it's seconds. Within seconds, I went from Mr. Football, full scholarship, to Mr. Football, 18 years in life, in jail, off 1 bad decision. And I'm just was grateful for the people that I had in my corner to help me get out of that situation. And when I look at it now, that's why I want to talk to a lot of these youth, because they don't have a lot of people that I had in my corner. So when you go in them courtrooms and you facing what I'm facing, you going to sit down, period. I was lucky to be able to get 5 years of probation with somebody getting killed. So it's a big difference. And I don't think nobody in here want to hear that, even the adults. Nobody want to go there.
Nope, not at all. So, in this day and age, it was, you got distracted back then. It's way more distractions now. So, what would be your advice to, like one of the younger kids who, to deal with the distractions that they're seeing outside with their friends or things they might want to imitate that they're seeing online? So, what would your advice be as far as that?
My advice be them. I always tell them if they really know me. You remember I told you about them seconds that changed my life. Don't fall in that same bucket about them seconds. Just think about everything you do. Everything you do, just think about it. If you know it's wrong, don't do it. Don't try to be sneaky and get away with it, because being sneaky and get away with something can land you in that same situation.
And it's, I got question after question. I want to be, respectful, because I know the movie is still out, and, it's a very good movie. So what was that like? So take us through that process. So what was that like filming a movie? That's also some stuff that, we don't see people do, filming a movie about their, legacy while they're still alive and while they still can tell their own story. So what was that like?
It brought back a lot of memories when I went back over there on that street and we had to do the live scene, and I had to tell them how everything happened. So we had to go through all that over again. And the people that actually did, I had to tell them. So yeah, it brought back a lot of memories and tough situations and tears, but I still had to put it out because I knew what my purpose of putting this out was. So I don't want to keep, I don't want to keep always talking about it. because it definitely bring back it touched me a lot. So I just try to refrain from talking about that as much.
Okay, what about just shooting the movie, period? Not the story, just shooting the movie, period.
It was fun doing that. After a while, once getting all the multiple interviews and having the different points of views from different people, hearing them finally after 20 years, it was fun doing that part.
So, you know, I'm from the community as well. I know you growing up. Would you say that you probably, at this point, have a little bit of survivor's remorse?
Yes, for sure. A lot of survivor's remorse. Definitely.
Just continuing to work through that. Did you like have to find any professional help, or was it just God and your community wrapping their arms around you?
Yeah, that my community, and you know, sometimes I might sound weird, but like if it start getting too tough, I start talking to Lorenzo. That was the guy that was with me that night when he got killed. This his jersey. This his number he wore, 80. His name was Lorenzo Hunter. So sometimes I just be talking to him and just trying to listen to the words that he probably gonna send down to me. And then if I get those words, it always be words of encouragement. It's like I hear him saying, just keep going, bro. So that just helped me keep pushing.
That's dope. And the reason I asked that question is because it's a lot of mental health and mental things going on with the young folks. So just them seeking help is probably something they don't want to do, or different types of techniques that they don't want to use, or they get bullied or anything like that for their mental health. But on a lighter note, we happy you here. And is there anything that you want to say that you're doing besides the documentary that you want to speak on?
I got some things coming up. Stay tuned. Y'all gonna see them posting. I don't want to talk too fast because everything ain't in the makings yet. But I got some things coming up that should be helping the youth pretty soon, for sure.
That's great. That's great because, after, digging back into the story and watching the documentary, I definitely feel like the story is just starting and not ending. So definitely want to see you, keep pushing forward with that for sure. So can't wait to see that for sure.
Yep, for sure. I ain't gonna say that, but yeah, like I said, it's gonna be posted soon, y'all. Y'all to see it.
So I know you got your humble cap on. You've been chilling today, but we want to know about those big games, those big moments. Like, what was that like when you won that Mr. Football?
Shit, it was the best award, so I was happy about it, man. I was the happiest thing that ever happened to me, actually, coming up back then. And then, they had to give it to me if I had 41 touchdowns and 3,200 yards rushing.
That's crazy.
So,
that's crazy. You got a play or something that stand out that you remember, that you relive? Like, what play?
The one-hand interception against Eds. Yeah.
So hopefully when we edit this,
that's coming out.
Put the video right here when he's talking about the interception. The video might be right there.
Definitely got to find that video and put that video up.
Yeah, for sure.
So and what about some of the players you played against? Like, who was the best player you think you faced?
Nobody.
There we go. All right, so I got one for you then, and this a total random question. It's not rehearsed or nothing. So, Northeast Ohio, Mount Rushmore of high school football. So we got 4 spots. Mount Rushmore of Northeast Ohio football. From the last, we're gonna do 20, 25 years, let's say. We might gotta go 30 years. You getting up there?
I'm gonna say Soup, Darius Hiley.
Superman.
Of course, my boy Teddy G. And then I'm gonna go Terrell Sutton.
Oh yeah.
Akron guy.
He was at Hoban, right?
Yeah. And then of course I gotta go Maurice Correa.
Oh, that's a list, man. These kids probably have no clue about any of these people. Do y'all at all? Do y'all?
Just go look them up when y'all get a chance. If y'all remember the name.
You know what's up. So, you know, we know what you end up doing. Was football your first love, or like what was your first passion, or like?
Yeah, football. I ain't do nothing else.
Nothing else, no other sport, no nothing.
Nah, if I was doing it, I was just playing around with it, but only thing I really took serious was football.
It showed.
Yeah.
So for the athlete out here, what was some of your regimen, some of your workouts? How did you become Mr. Ohio?
I just stayed in shape. I was more in shape than everybody around me, put it like that. Like, I played both sides of the ball, every play. Only came out when I probably had a big run, but I'm right back in. I just stayed in shape. You got to stay in shape. That's my biggest thing for telling the youth. Stay in shape, and then you can do whatever you want out there on the field. If you're in shape, you go 9 times out of 10, I'll beat your opponent for 4 quarters.
And then also, what can you tell the student athlete about being coachable? Like, because there's a lot of student athletes that are not coachable and they're not reaching their full potential because obviously they're not listening to the coach.
Nah, the coach. If the thing with that is, because I'm a coach now, so I understand what you're saying, and the kids don't want to listen. But if the coach is the coach and he's telling you something, obviously he's telling you the right thing, right? If he the coach, 9 times out of 10, it ain't a coach that ain't telling you the right thing. So why wouldn't you listen to the coach? That's what I would tell you. Why wouldn't you listen to the coach? Who else would you listen to? It's a reason why they got him right here. They don't have a basketball team with no coach, a football team with no coach. Everybody got a coach because he know what he's talking about. He's been doing it for a while. So why wouldn't you listen, especially if you're a successful coach?
So it sounds like you really got a passion for coaching. So how far would you want to take this? So is that your new love, your new passion, like coaching? Like,
yeah, that's my new thing with the kids. And I think I just want to stay with the kids right now because I've had opportunities to go to the high school level and to the college level and coach. But I think it got to start with the kids, with the youth.
So you know, because you mentioned college, I was going to try to get into that though. Tell us about like your journey in college. So out of high school, you signed with West Virginia. That's where you.
Yep. And then they pulled the scholarship until after I got out of court. Mm-hmm. And once I got out of court, they tried to come back, but then I was so like, y'all kind of threw me away when I was in trouble, so I'm taking my talent somewhere else. I wanted to stay close to home, so I tried Toledo, which was a bad situation for me because my judge had told me she wanted me to get out of Ohio. I wasn't really listening to her at the time, but my prosecutor of my case, his brother-in-law, was the head security guard at Toledo at the time. So every little situation where Cleveland guys was getting into it with Toledo guys, and if I was around, they definitely was saying, you had something to do with it. And all I would say was watch the cameras, because I never did nothing. So once particular time, it got bad where a girl got glass busted all on her face, and she was in one of my classes. But she told them since I was Mr. Ohio, I had all the Cleveland guys jumping on the Toledo guys, and they kicked me out of school for that. But went back and looked at the cameras because I got lawyers at this time, and I was just standing there the whole time. I ain't saying nobody do nothing. But that was the reason why she told me to get out of Ohio, because they wasn't happy with what she did, so they was still trying to send curveballs. That's why you got to go watch the documentary, because there's something else on there that happened to me in there to just let you know that that courtroom down there is very crooked.
Yeah, for sure.
And they kind of do what they want to do. And once again, with me not having the people that I had in my backing, I would have been gone for 3 years after that. But they believed in me and what was going on. We got some things taken care of, and come to find out that they was just trying to set me up.
So then you leave Toledo, then you go down to
North Carolina,
At Shaw University.
Shaw University, all black school down there. Yeah, won a championship 3 years out of 4,
I seen you was
college
getting busy.
level.
I seen you was getting busy too.
Mhm.
So, what was that like going from you hood to this Catholic school with all these people back to a HBCU? So, what was that like?
See, down south in HBCUs is different, bro. And I would tell all the kids, if you don't go to a big school, one of them big schools, go to a HBCU, because I feel like my experience down there, that the teachers and everybody really care. Everybody really care about your well-being, your grade, everything. It's just, they say that Southern hospitality is real. It really is real down there, and you will feel it.
Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up, man. So, I see you got some big games there too. You want to walk us through some of those? Cause I looked it up. You got some big. You had some 160 yard game, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
You was really, you was still him there. So let's talk about that.
It was fun, man. Like I said, I always felt like I was a niche better than everybody. So what helped me was film study. I could easily watch film and break down some film on the defense fast. So that would help me.
Because we got a lot of youth in here. He mentioned being coachable. He mentioned being in shape. He's mentioning all the core foundation things, all the free things that. So then he didn't just wake up and just go out there and win Mr. Football.
Yeah, you don't need none of that. You don't need nobody to do none of the stuff that we was doing.
Yeah,
all this trainers and all this stuff that they got going on now, it's cool, but do I believe in it? No.
So where can the people find the documentary? Also, where can they find you on all socials?
Our social media account is Mr. Football, and then that's on Instagram. The movie is on Apple TV and Prime. It's also called Mr. Football.
And
I don't got no Facebook, none of that.
no Facebook. You ain't that old.
Yeah, I about to say, Facebook, you ain't that.
I ain't never have a Facebook.
What skills that you learned that transfer into real life that you use, like some specific things that you use in real life that you got from football?
Patience. Learn being patient out there on the field, to pick your holes, but being patient in life as well, because you be wanting things to move fast and you be wanting things to go a certain way, but you just gotta be patient. And that helped me out a lot. And when I became an adult, because I was always moving fast, but now I got kids, and you gotta be very patient when you got kids, so being patient is what I held on a lot to.
We gonna wrap it up. It's been great talking with Ray, Mr. Football. We're glad you came on the platform, chopped it up with us. We definitely respect everything about you, and keep doing your thing, brother. Keep doing it.
Appreciate y'all too, man.
Absolutely, man.
Thanks for having me.
For sure.
Right. We got a couple.
Do we got any questions?
Y'all go to school to play. But if you want to go to college, if you want to do anything in life, whatever you want to do, you got to have grades to do it, right? So you might as well start now, getting your grades, because when you go to college and you don't get the grades, you just wasting time and money. So it's so important when your mother and your father be telling y'all to do that homework and good grades, because you paving your way. When you get good grades, you set yourself up for success. But when you getting bad grades, you just digging yourself in a hole. Because now you got to come out that hole to try to get to where you want to go. When you already on top of the hole, you can get to where you want to go. So it's super important to get them grades and stay in them books, y'all.
That speak for you when you ain't there. So you can have bad grades. That don't mean you dumb, but people gonna treat you like you dumb if them grades bad. So it's easy to get your grades up and to stay on top of them and maintaining it. Because like I said, if I look as a transcript and I see these grades, I don't know if you're smart. I don't know. You might be the smartest person I ever met. You just don't show up in the classroom. That's nobody there advocating for you. They're gonna go off them grades. So that's really important.
Any more questions? All right, Mr. G.
How you doing? Thank you. Yeah, it is, because my whole aspect on that is we could vote, but it's all about down there who they want. And we see that with Trump. So we could vote all day long to get who we want in there, but if them people down there don't want them in there, they ain't gonna get in there. That's how I feel about it. But my thing I tell them is just don't get in no trouble. You don't gotta deal with them. Just stay away from it, and you don't got to deal with none of that stuff that they doing down there.
Hey, so I'm a high school coach, and you can read my player in the front, and I see you playing humble cards today. I saw like pictures of who this guy was. I remember watching him make American score a touchdown.
Yep. Adrian Peterson was in that game with me. Just when you look at when you do something like how I did and be up there and then you let your family down, you gotta turn the cheek to try to see how you can pick it back up. So my first thing was to not give up and to continue to go to school and continue to play sports and see how far I can go with it. Even though when it was time for me to come out, I was put on that blackball list because of what I did. So I still was happy with my outcome because I feel like I still pushed through and got my college degree and everything else. And my kids got somebody to look up to that's stronger than he ever been. So I feel like, yeah, I accomplished a lot. Because, it's a couple guys that get in stuff and then you don't see them, or when you do see them, it's bad. They don't know how to recover from it. For instance, Delonte West, Cavs guy, he was on them drugs and he couldn't get back with all the money in the world. So it's all about the mindset too, of who you are and what you want to do with yourself.
Any more questions?
She's from Lutheran East.
I just wanted to ask you, how important is you keep talking about like how people, you keep speaking about how you got blackballed, right? So your decisions, like even small decisions, like getting recruited in high school is a big deal. So how do you talk about talking to youth about behavior in high school and getting a label? Because once you're targeted, right, if you get in trouble in school constantly, even if you're not doing nothing, the time that you aren't doing something because you've done so much, you're going to be targeted. So what advice would you give to like some of those players or kids?
Whatever you do, follow you. So if you that kid that's doing X, Y, and Z, it's gonna follow you. because everybody talks. So my thing is, when you get recruited, you want to carry yourself like somebody that they could take home to you, I guess. Take home and be like, oh, he was a good kid, she was a good kid, didn't have to worry about that. You don't want nobody out here talking about, I don't want to deal with them. I don't want to deal with her. I don't want to deal with him. So it's about yourself. You got to check yourself first. Look yourself in the mirror and figure out who you are. And don't be a follower, be a leader. Because that's what a lot of y'all get in trouble for, following. Be a leader. If you know they doing something wrong and it ain't right, you don't got to do it. And you don't get looked at wrong because you walked away. Oh well, the day still go on, then tomorrow y'all gonna be right back doing whatever y'all was doing. So that peer pressure and I would say just be strong and just do the right thing, y'all. We on this stream, so I can't say what I want to say.
Hello, everyone. So I'm a coach mom for youth football. I've been with these kids since they were 6. They are now 11 years old. So they're playing youth football with SSC Dogs.
Appreciate you, Mama.
Thank you. It's a lot of work, but good group of kids here. But I do have a question. What would you say the top 3 characteristics, aside from academics, would be for an athlete in regards to like hindering their opportunities that they could come about as they get older?
The top 3 characteristics that they can hinder. All right, number 1, stay away from drugs. Yeah, I know y'all see a lot of that everywhere you go. And just stay away from, y'all got a whole life to live before y'all start deciding if y'all want to do anything with that. The same with liquor and all that. And another thing is sex. Hold off on that as long as you can. It ain't that important. You got a whole life. She said y'all 11, so y'all got a long time back there to be doing that. And the last thing I would say is them grades. Make sure y'all get them grades, man, them grades. If y'all get them grades and stay away from the drugs and don't get nobody pregnant, those be the main 3 things that hinder somebody from being successful. And the streets. Stay out them streets. Ain't nothing in them streets for you.
How you doing? I'm a mom. All my kids play sports. I've been trying to sit here and think how you put it in a question, but I can't, so I'm gonna just say it.
Ain't no wrong question.
When I was in high school, I played sports. I knew how important it was as far as being, to be on a team and support each other. As I see my kids playing with teams, it's not a lot of that. Like you said, you spoke about it as far as, having someone great on the team with you and they want to talk about each other. They want to, be in competition. Is there something that you can speak more on to these kids pertaining to, because everybody don't, like you said, you knew you wanted to do football. You knew you wanted to go further with it. Not everybody, some people know they don't. They just play it because they can play it, or in some instances that I've seen, and even myself, I did it just to not be in the streets.
Right.
So, if it took me there, it took me there. If it didn't, it didn't. But at the end of the day, I still supported everyone on that team. But like I say, I don't see that a lot with, my 4 kids and all them playing. Like, it's like you say, they're not against, but they're always in competition with each other. And that's not the fact, like we're in this together. So
yeah,
that's.
I think, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. When it's on a youth side, I think it comes a lot from what they're hearing around them. When they get in the car with their parents, and their parents be saying, well, he gave him the ball, yada, 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 and he didn't give you the ball, and yada, yada, yada. That's where it start at. the parents got to be better with that. Like, they all on the same team, because I coach, so I done dealt with it for multiple years now. So that's how I know with kids on the same team be beefing. Parents in the stands be beefing. Fake like, but because she don't like or he don't like that we giving him the ball more than his kid. But I think it start at home, honestly. I think if you raise your kid to not be a hater or to do the right thing, then he won't be out there doing that. And he will learn how to embrace and love him the same way because that's his brother. Y'all blood, sweat, and tears together. So every game you go into is like a war. And he got to have your back and you got to have his. So if y'all don't feel like that, then how can we go into this war? That's how I look at it. But if it don't start with the parents at home or with a lot of this stuff, then we're going to be in trouble.
Did you have any distraction like girls and stuff like that?
I went to an all-boys school, so it was easier during the week because they ain't in school with me. But on the weekends, I had distractions, but I just knew how to, like, I'm gonna be honest, I went to Benedictine, but I never went to the white parties and none of that because I didn't want to be in there and they'd be like, well, the black boy and all that, so I stayed away from that type of stuff. And I only went to our parties, but you learn how to deal with it. You're gonna have distractions. You know how the females is. Like, so you're gonna have them ones that wanna be seen and wanna do all that, and then you just gotta get her away from you because she too loud, or whatever the case may be. Y'all gonna see my 11-year-olds back there. Y'all got some cheerleaders around y'all now that you be like, she just always wanna be in my face.
It's him with the red on. Yeah,
I knew it.
it's him with the red on.
But yeah, I'm gonna get their contact so I can come to some of y'all games next year too.
Any more questions? The mic on his way. And she was the first person here too.
She was.
Right here there. And she left and I thought she wasn't gonna come back.
First,
Like, you better come back too.
Glad she came back.
first I wanted to commend you for everything you've been through. Give your flowers.
Appreciate you, brother.
Like Coach Brooks was saying, I watched you grow up. We from the same area, watching you grow up from Little League and to being Mr. Football and the career you had at Charlotte University and everything. My question is this, kind of like touch on from being in Little League to you becoming Mr. Football, the intricate little things you had to do besides practice to make you become Mr. Football. You know, I try to like tell the youth that it's one thing.
You gotta do some extra. I get what you're saying.
Right.
You gotta do the push-ups at night. You gotta do the sit-ups at night. You know, you if you want to be good and you sitting there watching TV or you watching a football game, it shouldn't hurt you to just get down there and do 50 or 100, whatever you can do. As long as you're doing them every night, you doing more than what the next person doing. So that's gonna take you. You might not think it's gonna take you or it ain't doing too much, but it will. Cause that little much strength that you putting on yourself and make you be able to get through that fourth quarter or break that tackle or make that tackle or make that bucket, that hard foul or whatever the case may be. So you gotta do something extra. You can't just do whatever it is when y'all go to practice. And you don't need nobody to tell you if you want to be great. You can get out there and do it yourself. Just like when you go outside and do whatever you want to do with your friends, you can go out there and get some workout in. Oh, before we end too, my dude make these jerseys right here too. Easy, that was him that was the last question. So, and on this live stream, if anybody want to get some jerseys made, contact us. We'll get it made for you.
All right, y'all, thanks for coming out. Can we get Mr. Williams? You got a question? Last question, here you go.
Thank you. How you doing? You feeling good today?
I'm all right.
All right, my question is, what kept you motivated when things got hard? You know what I'm saying? When you just felt like you ain't want to push no more.
The fact that I wanted to be great, and my mother, just knowing that I heard her when I did what I did, and just keep looking at her every day, it helped me to push through everything I was going through. Let me hear him talk loud. You don't need the mic.
Yeah, you don't need the mic.
Hey, what was your best year in high school?
My junior year, I had that's when I had 3,200 rushing yards and 41 touchdowns. Oh, 1 year. In one game, I had 7 touchdowns and 340. Didn't play the fourth. Joe's. That's when they had David Light. He was younger. I was older.
Put on the mic. We done?
One more. We got one more question.
Okay, so what was your favorite highlight in one game?
That's a good question.
I think it would probably be my sophomore year when I scored against LeBron and them to win the game. I think that was probably the highlight because they made him come back to play us in that game, and after that game he ain't play no more. Nope.
This
He
the way
stopped
we
playing. Yes. That's the one they show all his football highlights. That they playing us. His last game. Every highlight you see when they show his football, that's that game. But they don't show the end because they know what happened.
Any more questions?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. You've been talking to her all day.
Don't be shy. You all right. You've been talking to them all day.
All
Now
day.
you don't want to talk.
If you could describe your journey in one word, what would it be?
That's a good one too.
I gotta think about that one. In one word. You got me. I'm gonna have to come to one of your games and answer that question for you. I need some time with that one. For sure. But I really can't answer that, Ray. One word.